The Tricaster MINI4K comes with two Spark Plus I/O NDI encoder decoder units. These have HDMI inputs and outputs and can support up to 4K P60 video. So let's take a look at the rear of the Tricaster MINI4K and how we would connect the Spark Pluses to it using Ethernet cable. On the rear of the Tricaster MINI4K, you will find four Ethernet connections labeled NDI1 through NDI4. These also supply power over Ethernet to power the Spark Plus IOs or an NDI camera if connected. There is a power budget of 65 watts total on this card, so be aware of that when you're connecting devices up to it. Next to the Ethernet ports labeled NDI 1 through 4 are four display ports. These display ports come off the graphics card in the Tricaster Mini. They are mini display ports, but the Tricaster Mini does come with adapters to go to either HDMI or standard DisplayPort cables. Now let's go over and look at the computer inputs and outputs available on the Tricaster Mini. At the top left-hand corner, we find a keyboard connector and two USB connectors. Normally these would be where you would connect your keyboard and mouse. To the right of that, you'll see the 19-volt DC input that comes from the power brick. Then below the keyboard connector, you'll see three video connectors. These are not used in the Tricaster Mini, so leave the covers on. Below this, we see USB connectors. There is one Type-C and 5 regular USB 3 connectors. Above those connectors are two Ethernet ports. These are 1 gig Ethernet ports. Below that, we see two RF connectors for antennas. And at the very bottom, we see the motherboard audio card inputs and outputs. That does it for the rear connectors on the Tricaster MINI4K. Let's take a look at the front and see where the audio connectors are. On the front of the Tricaster MINI4K are 6 1/4-inch jacks. On the input side, we have a mic level input and left and right line level inputs. These are all TRS balanced inputs. On the output side, we have left and right line level audio out, which is TRS balanced as well, and a headphone jack, which monitors the audio system, including the solos when used in the audio mixer. Well, that about does it for our overview of the I/O connections on the Tricaster MINI4K. If you have any questions, feel free to give DVS Direct a call at 1-800-379-7267. That's 1-800-379-7267.